I used to cry. A lot. No, really, I'm not joking. I mean at least once a day. I remember racing across the long walk after class, desperately trying to avoid any familiar faces that would question my tears. Rushing back to my dorm, I would call my mum on schedule. She would listen intently, bless her, to my sadness from over 3,500 miles away. I'd never thought about how hard that must have been for her. Leaving the Office of Study away in December of 2017, I was equipped with my escape plan. I was getting out. So, you go to university in America, but you aren't going to be in America for a year and a half. My best friends would echo the same sentiment over countless FaceTime conversations. Yes, that is exactly what I mean. That first inhale of London air when I stepped out of Heathrow Airport was liberating. I was finally home and I could finally breathe again. Only in leaving Trinity's Hertford campus, I could never have imagined how my university experience would be changed by my time abroad. Everything that I would be so grateful for in the 18 months that would follow. Arriving at my homestay in Barcelona, I had not expected to feel so very welcome in a family that was not my own. Well, not yet. Communicating in a language that is not your mother tongue can have that effect. Sitting on the sofa in the living room, Lourdes, my host mother, and I could often be found making the noises of animals, like 5-year-olds do, when I would question what meat I was eating for dinner, and neither of us knew one another's translation. Language barrier. What language barrier? Really, Lourdes? I think in my head, as each member of my family come piling into my room, dogs and all, to meet the shrieks of my host mother's excitement. It's a Sunday evening and I'm relaxing in my room with my curl formers setting in my hair. Admittedly, they do look rather funny, Medusa-like if you will, 40 plus pieces of plastic in my hair. How embarrassing. 9 beings were stood in my room at that point, and it was in that very moment that I realised I wasn't actually embarrassed. I wasn't embarrassed at all. These people are my family, and if anything, this moment of initial panic made me realise just how much of a part of the family I am. It was during moments like these that I cried, but this time I was crying with laughter, and I had been doing that for the last 4 months. For that very reason, I wasn't ready to leave. So I didn't. I continued to cry with laughter for another whole semester in Barcelona. And I cried with laughter all the way up Cape Town's Table Mountain. I cried with laughter with Tinotenda, my secret favourite 6-year-old of my grade 1 class at St Agnes Primary School in Woodstock. I cried with laughter as I soared at 14,000 feet after jumping out of a plane, skydiving over Aquila Safari Park. I cried with laughter on the dance floor of Boogie, our go-to club in Claremont every Thursday from January to May. And I cried with pure happiness, surrounded by the incredible friends I had made in South Africa. Even when I left Cape Town, I hugged Mara, Caroline and Ida goodbye and watched as they began to cry, seeing me get in my Uber to the airport. But I didn't cry. It was only then that I realised that I hadn't cried in such a long time. And not because I was stopping myself doing so, but because I genuinely didn't have anything to cry about. It's strange to think about that girl who would cry on the long walk. I remember that person, but I also can't imagine her anymore. Of course, now I'm back at Trinity, I can be found on that same long walk, but equipped with incredible memories and incredible friends made, and an excitement for what is to come. I do not cry anymore. And thank God, because my mum was probably getting really fed up with that.